This is Steve Garland, the head coach at the University of Virginia wrestling program, and I'm giving my weekly video recap. I wanted to first and foremost thank you all for your prayers and support of Zach DePasquale, who suffered a broken leg in an open tournament a couple weeks ago and has been in the hospital ever since. He actually has had several surgeries, but I'm happy to say he's doing well. He went through a lot. He went through a really hard week, but I got a picture from him yesterday with a thumbs up with his cast on his leg in his wheelchair, and he's progressing. And for all the accounts I'm getting and reports I'm getting from Dad are that they're all positive, from our trainers that they're positive, and so thank you so much. He's doing much better. Same with the other guys. We've had a lot of surgeries in the last 2 weeks, and I think morale is lifting up. I think that the worst of it, praise God, is over. The realization that they're human and that this is their first major injury to deal with, which is tough enough. Then the realization of the actual pain of the surgeries, and then the realization that when you wake up from anesthesia and you look down and you're in a brace and you're facing 6 months of trial. So that's pretty tough on anybody, not to mention these guys in this age range. So very proud of the way they're all handling it. And again, I thank you so much for the support through it all. But definitely have good news this week on that front. Secondly, I want to recap the Virginia duels this past weekend. We had a really good weekend, and we needed it. And what I'll say is this: there's two things that the trials of the last month and that the Southern Scuffle and other sort of events have taught our team. And one is that we have to claw and scratch and fight and battle every bout, every man, every point, every dual meet, or else we don't have a chance. We have to do that, and we weren't doing that. I think we got maybe caught up a little bit in our ranking. We got caught up in expectations, and I'm to blame for that. I set lofty expectations for this program, and this year was no different. And I think what that did was create extra heaviness on the guys. And so what the trials did, what the setbacks did, what the injuries did is kind of free us up from all that and know that, okay, every duel's going to be tough. Every bout's going to be tough. What are we going to do about it? And so the effort, the fight, the grit, what I saw on our team was completely different than what I've seen in the last couple months, and I was just so pleased with that. And then the second thing we saw is that togetherness is the only way we're going to make it. We were starting to fragment. We were starting to not pull for each other. We had some selfish desires that were creeping in. Am I the guy? Who's wrestling here? What about me? And what that tournament did, because the whole thing of Virginia duels, if you've ever been there, it's close quarters and you're in there and you're in the fight and everybody's yelling and the bench is right next to you, and there's something about that atmosphere that brought our guys together. And you had guys who didn't get a chance to wrestle who wanted to, cheering like crazy for the guy that's out there. You had the guy that's hurt that wants to be out there so bad, cheering for the guy that's wrestling in front of him, because now it's not about what his goal is, it's about what we're going to be doing. And there's so many guys I can name by name, but I'm just so proud of our team. And they know that. I told them, I said, guys, I am so proud of the way you came together. So once again, in a very tough situation, it actually ended up being a blessing in the long run. And it hurt like heck going through it, and we're still going through it. But it was that's what I think was just so crucial for our program. And so I'm so grateful for that. I'm so grateful for the weekend. I think some of the things that happened, we came out and we wrestled really well against Citadel. One of the individual bouts I want to highlight is Andrew Atkinson beating the 8th ranked guy in the country by fall. Gosh, it was such a breakthrough bout for him, and just so excited for Andrew. He's only a redshirt freshman, and he's had a tough year of ups and downs, and that's what happens when you're a freshman, but he was able to break through in that match, and gosh, it was so great, and he had a great weekend. The very next match, we wrestled Ryder, who's ranked 16th in the country, higher in other rankings, and we were able to beat them, and Andrew almost beat another ranked guy in that match. He was this close to beating a very highly nationally ranked guy, so that was amazing. Other bouts to highlight from the Ryder victory for us was Georgie DiCamillo was on his back, losing 5-0 in the first 20 seconds of the match. He comes all the way back and wins against a nationally ranked guy, very good guy. Nick Herman was down 7-1. And he came all the way back and won in overtime. And that's what I'm talking about the difference. Earlier in the year, Nick would have been looking around like, why is this happening to me? I can't believe this is happening. This just shouldn't happen to me. I'm nationally ranked. Instead, he was like, oh, yeah, Coach told me this was going to be tough. Yep, so here I am. And he goes out and he comes all the way back, and the bench is going crazy on our side. So such a huge victory there. And then it went on from there, and we were able to win that duel. The next round, we beat another nationally ranked team. We beat Edinburgh, who's ranked 10th in the country in most rankings. Very, very tough program. And we were able to do it, and it came down to heavyweight and Pat Gillen, who got his first shot at, or one of his first shots at the varsity lineup for us, and man, did he take advantage of it, and he ends up winning the dual meet for us. All his buddies hugging him, everybody rubbing his head when he's coming off the mat, and gosh, just so happy for Pat Gillen because he's a fourth year here that's been plugging away for a long time and waiting for his shot and working diligently. And I'm sure he's had many times where he sat and said to himself, why am I doing this? Should I be doing this at all? And sure enough, he gets that. And so, again, a lot of blessings. So then we make it to the finals. And in the finals, we have Virginia Tech, who's heavily favored. They're ranked 5th in the country. And we were winning going into heavyweight. And it came down to Pat Gillen again. And Pat wrestled a top 10 ranked guy and wrestled his heart out and lost 3-2, and we were just so proud of the way Gillen competed. And so I'll just go through the bouts quickly. We lost at 25 to the number 3 ranked guy in the country, Joey Dance. At 33, George DiCamillo beat a really good kid. Another nationally ranked win for him. The guy ranked 19th in the country, beat him 6-0, missed a major by this much. At 141, Devin Carter major decisioned us. He's ranked number 3 in the country. At 49, we had a battle between 2 top 10 guys. Our guy, Gus Seiko, against their guy, Mastriano. We lost a heartbreaker there. 57, we won, and we missed a major by 1 turn, so we were so close there. But Andrew Agason, again, wrestling great. Solzer won at 65. Blaze beat the guy ranked as high as 5th in the country in most polls. Epperly, who's a total stud. Blaze was able to edge him out, and yet another nationally ranked guy that Blaze has wrestled this year. He's arguably had the toughest schedule of anybody on our team. James Suvak was winning 4-2 and ended up losing late to the 84 pounder who's nationally ranked from Tech. And then at 97, Zach Nye beat a really good kid in Jared Hott. And then at heavyweight it came down again, and we lost 3-2 there. So again, not the result. It wasn't the desired result. Obviously, the goal is always to win, but there's certainly way more positives coming out of that weekend than anything else. And I just want to thank everybody that was there. I know I just see Josh Feldman, Zach Feldman, and Kevin Michaels and Chris Hunter and all the other people down there that were supporting us. Thank you guys so much. It definitely didn't go unnoticed. Big weekend coming up. We've got Duke on Friday. Duke has beaten Northern Iowa, who's nationally ranked at the time. They've beaten NC State, who's been in and out of the national rankings. They've beaten, they're just doing great. They're a completely different team than they've been in the past. Their coaching staff's doing a great job. It's going to be an absolute fight. It's going to be a brawl. It's going to be a close match, and so everybody needs to do their part. It's that simple. And the good news is we get that now. Nobody's entitled to anything. Nobody deserves anything. And everybody knows that that's the way it's going to be from here on out. So please stick with us, and I'll give you my update next week.